This is our project, the Weather Project by Olafur Eliasson, done by Karina, Isabella, Sydney, Devon, and Jonathan. And then this is the photos of the piece here.
So yeah, Olafur Eliasson is a Danish Icelandic artist who is one of the foremost contemporary artists and creator of the artwork in the Water Project that was installed in the Turbine Hall of the Tate Modern Museum in London. And this consists in an example of atmospheric design and experience, and we can observe the representation of the sun made of a group of lamps arranged semicircularly behind a semi-transparent sheet, and that symbolizes the link between reality and virtuality. And the sky is represented by a mirrored ceiling that dominates the expanse of the space, and that light and water vapor combine in a whole that symbolize the hope for symbiosis between modernity and the natural world, and is a specific atmosphere for developing the interaction between the environment and perception, and where visitors experience immersion and immersion, and the museum was transformed into a place where the aim is not to provide meteorological information, but rather to generate an multisensory experience. And this artwork was installed from October 16, 2003 to March 21, 2004.
So, how did the art get there? Well, the Weather Project was commissioned by Tate Modern for their Unilever series. And if you don't know what the Unilever series is, the Unilever series helps artists create these large art installations in huge spaces at the Turbine Hall, which resulted in a lot of significant art installations and sculptures. And it's how the Weather Project was installed at Turbine Hall of all places. And by the way, there was no open call for a commission by the Tate Modern, and the site was obviously owned by the Tate Modern Museum, which housed this famous work. So it's owned by a group of people, not a certain individual. And in correction, it was commissioned by Tate Modern for the Unilever series. So, yeah.
And how was the work made? What was the intention? So this is a site-specific installation using semicircular screens, a ceiling of mirrors, and artificial mist. And this giant mirror doubled the size of the hall, and it gave the illusion of the sun. And it was backlit by lights for effect. And Eliasson posed the question to the viewers to get them thinking, do you think tolerance to other individuals is proportional to the weather? To what extent are you aware of the weather outside of your workplace? This was to get everyone thinking as they saw the piece. An article by Louise Hornby of Duke University Press suggests that Eliasson tools his art to increase the spectator's awareness both of their environment and of their position as phenomenological subjects within it. And Olafur was inspired by the change in weather in London from day to day, noticing that it was a dynamic element. And that was what he wanted to capture in his work, and that was the intention behind it. And a journal by Gertrude Sandquist noticed the pattern of environmental art in Eliasson's early work, saying that there is a similar ambivalence. So he's been using that theme for a long time.
And as for the public art model of the piece, instead of a modern model, the Weather Project fits more as a contemporary experiential model of public art making that is also site specific. Uh, Using the large space as well as the mirrored ceiling of the turbine hall played an important role in the illusion of a glowing sun, giving it that sunset aesthetic kind of vibe. And the vast open space allowed for unique behaviors from the audience, which encouraged visitors to interact with the area, such as laying down, taking pictures of the reflections, creating patterns with their bodies, etc. And because the exhibition only lasted for about a year from 2003 to 2004, the materials that were used only for a temporary installation, and the weather project was entirely ephemeral, meaning it was only there for a short period of time.
So why does the work has the public retention? So the Water Project was drawing like 2 million visitors during the Tate Modern's Terrain Hall from 2003 2004. It shows like the public interested, the artificial like the sun, the fog, and people lying on the floor and meditation experience. And the installation was feel like spiritual, like emotional, like moving and inspirational ways. Terrain Hall also inspires like industrial space, like to create experience by making a place of reflection and gathering. The viewers are thinking like that the weather project is climate, the humans, and phenomenon and receptions of the urban space. They also the widespread that intentions like such as the art press, the New York Times, the Guardians, the art forums to make like a scale and arrange the public and ambitious art criticized Ellison's work that blends with the nature, science, environment, and experience of the groundbreaking. Viewers can also see the weather projects such as on Instagram or the trending that shares and particular and engagement surrounds of the art.
What are my thoughts on this project? Our thoughts, it's huge, and it feels like you're stepping into a cinematic movie poster, especially with this dynamic color scheme. It's also very relaxing, like you could set up a picnic here. One of the obvious reasons it's good and successful as an art piece is that it represents climate change awareness, and pieces like this work right here could also make people reconsider how they treat our planet just by looking at a work like this. It's like the more they see pieces like this, it's like maybe we should treat our planet better. And it was successful in a way that it sets a precedent for future artists or other artists in general to use their passion for art to talk about and raise awareness for climate awareness and environmental incidents in their practices. I mean, looking at this seems like a pretty normal sky. Raise awareness for climate incidents. So, yeah.
So yeah, this is basically our academic sources citations, and we can see all here.
And then these are our references that we used in our slides.
Thank you.